Hello and welcome to Haircut and the Beard. My name is Vader, aka Haircut, and we're back. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Rob the Beard Brown. How are you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm really good.
Beard watch, your pubes, how they growing?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm growing it out. Gonna go big. I don't like the reference to the pubes, but they are getting really long and scraggly. So
they're not pubes. It's very thick. It's thick. I like that your hairs grow very close next to each other.
Yeah, they're thick.
They're not few and far between like mine.
The thickness. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
What have you been up to?
Man, I have been to the drive-in probably 40 times since the last time we did
You
a
love the
podcast.
drive-in.
I've just become a drive-in addict, seriously. It's a great experience.
Do you go because of the double feature?
I love the double feature.
Yeah.
But it's always one movie you want to see and one just turd of a film. I've seen some absolute crap that you would never go and pay money to see.
So it's been 3 months since we've been on the air.
It's been a while.
What's the shittest film you've seen at the drive-in during that period?
God, that's a tough one. I've left twice. Got beaten by the drive-in because it just... daylight savings in Australia, super late. The movie's finishing at like 2 in the morning or something like
Fair
that.
enough,
It gets a bit tough, but probably the worst one I've seen was the... And in all fairness, I did kind of enjoy it at the time, but it was one of those like zombies versus fucking scouts. I can't remember the name of the film. It's like
Scouts
Guide to the End of the World. That,
Oh, yeah. Awful.
You don't go to the drive-ins to see
Explain to the audience why we've been missing for 3 months.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Life finds a way.
I was trying to allude to that, yeah. No, you know what? Life gets in the way sometimes. We got really, really busy and we just thought we'd take a break and we're going to bring it back with a bit of a new format. We're going to go monthly this time.
Yep.
Which should be fun.
Something a bit more sustainable. It's a bit easier on us. We're both obviously busy people. We have our own things going on, but we still want to continue with this. And for those 6 fans out there listening, thank you for tuning in.
I listen to podcasts that are literally up to like 500 and something episodes and they do it weekly, even over holidays. I don't know how they do that.
Let's introduce our guest. You might remember her from previous episodes. It's actually the girl 2.0. Psych. It's Toomey.
Hello.
There he is.
All right, then.
How you been, buddy?
Yeah, good.
He's been traveling the globe.
Yeah, good to be back in the studio. Although I feel I've been back since I went travelling, haven't I?
Have you?
Because I've been on this sofa in this apartment. That must have been since I came back, right?
I think that was... Oh, yeah. It must have been. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But you hadn't started back with your previous work.
No, I think I was still homeless at this time.
Ah, cool. Yes.
But it was like a cool homeless. Like, you say homeless and people think you're like begging for money in the street. It's like cool person homeless.
Yeah,
where
he's
you're
robbing
like,
people.
Yeah, that's it.
Hipster homeless.
Yeah, hipster homeless. That's it.
If this is your first time listening to the show, we like to talk about movies and TV shows, and the format generally goes like this. We open with some news, and we'll talk about some news items that have been going on recently, and then we'll jump into the movie that we're doing and have some fun along the way. What's the movie this time, Rob?
This week we're going to be talking about the Stanford Prison Experiment.
Very cool.
Directed by Carl Patrick Alvarez and written by Tim Talbot. True story. Really, really cool.
Sorry, the whole story's true?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I knew that it was like based on true. I didn't realize it was like accurate, but I think that makes a lot of sense.
I'll talk about that a little bit. There's some really interesting sort of tidbits about that, but yeah, really
cool.
Looking forward to it.
All right, well, let's get stuck into some news. I don't know if you guys have seen the new trailer for the X-Men Apocalypse. That came out just the other day.
Oh, really? I missed that. I don't
Dude,
know
you
how
haven't
I
seen
missed
it?
that.
Dude, he's back. Professor X, the young guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Is it
Halle
all
Berry.
the young crew, or is it the...
Young crew.
Yeah, so none of the older crew?
Nah.
Okay.
Fassbender is Magneto.
He's a good Magneto. I like him as Magneto. He's a good bad guy, that guy.
So, I don't know. So, this episode is coming out on December 15th, 2015. The next episode will be January 2015. Sorry, January 15th, 2016, rather.
Yeah.
And by then, the Golden Globes would have been.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously lots of noms for the Golden Globes that we can kind of go through, but probably one of the biggest ones would be Best Director. The nominations have just come out.
Ooh, interesting.
So, for Best Director, nominated is Todd Haynes for Carol, movie Carol.
Yep.
Alejandro Iñárritu
I think
for The Revenant.
I'm hoping that film's going to be as amazing as it
That's
looks.
the DiCaprio bear rape.
It's
right?
like it's the please for the love of God finally give me a fucking Oscar film.
Yeah, I mean they're winding it up to be huge as well. Like
it looks spectacular. It's the same cinematographer that did Birdman.
Oh, really?
Same director. Like it just looks spectacular.
Getting that old team back together.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah.
Should be pretty solid. Tim McCarthy, Spotlight, George Miller, Mad Max, Ridley Scott, The Martian. They're all in Best Director.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon is going to win? Let's Let's put down a bet here.
Do you think Mad Max could win?
Yeah.
Because it's like not the kind of film that generally would win anything like this.
Yeah.
But I think it deserves it. Like that to run that crew to do what he did is a fucking modern marvel. Seriously, some of the things that they pulled off in that film. But would it ever win an Oscar? Would it ever win a Golden Globe? You know, I don't know.
I think it could. Definitely. It definitely stands apart from everything else that's come out in the last year or so as far as cinematography and like direction.
That's
100%.
it. And the stand apart, the fact that it is different means it gets that extra attention as well.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
the one thing everyone says about that film is how good it looks.
Yeah.
Because of the way that they did it. And
Yeah.
because George Miller is a
A
genius.
genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just amazes me that a guy could do Happy Feet and that. Like,
Yeah.
It's just, they're so different, you know?
If you got to lock one in, though, out of those, Carol, Revenant, Spotlight, Mad Max, or The Martian, who would it be?
I haven't seen The Revenant yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with the films that I have seen, which is pretty much just The Martian and Mad Max, of course, I'd probably guessed at Mad Max. I hope. I'd like it to.
Yeah. If I was putting money down,
Yeah.
it'd be Mad Max.
Yeah, I think The Martian, while it was an awesome, entertaining movie, not
really-
different enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing special there.
It was great. Like, it was really enjoyable, really fun. You came out of it really pumped, but I don't think it's sort of best director worthy, you know?
I'm going to put a bet down on The Revenant for this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah.
there's just so much hype around it, and the fact that Leo's in it,
Yeah.
it's got to be good.
That trailer, honestly, without knowing the film, without reading up on it or anything, the first time I saw that trailer, just like it's got that thing where he sort of breathes to the beat.
Yeah.
It really just gets you in there.
Fuck yeah.
Solid.
Other nominations, just quickly, best motion picture, are essentially the same, except The Martian's not in there, and a movie called Room is as well. I haven't seen that.
Yeah. But usually around this time, all of those films sort of start coming out because everyone holds off on their really big stuff.
And Fassbender is nominated as well for Steve Jobs' drama, which I haven't seen yet, but look forward to seeing that one.
Yeah.
Apparently, Will Smith is nominated for a Golden Globe in Concussion, which,
Really?
like, unless he's playing himself, which he does spectacularly.
And in everything.
Yeah. I don't know.
I haven't seen that, but the trailer looks good. There's so much that we haven't
Yeah.
seen yet. But it does. That film does look alright. It
Yeah.
looks like one of those, like, you know, it's a really important story that no one's ever heard about, you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Maybe I'm just ignorant and I haven't heard of it, but still.
All right. Next news item here: David Brent movie from the UK office
Yeah.
is being shot at the moment.
My mate.
Your mate, yeah.
Yeah,
You actually know him because you're British. You guys just hang out. And...
We drink tea and have sandwiches together.
There's only like 14 people in England, apparently. At Ricky Gervais is tweeting a lot of pictures about it and filming and stuff. But it's like 14 years later from the series. Like, it's quite a fair way on.
You know what I discovered recently? That he was actually in a legit band.
Yeah?
Like a proper band. Like, they were charted. They had film clips. You could go and look up a film clip right now, and it's him skinny, looking like a young rock star, singing and dancing and shit. Like, proper singing and dancing. I'm like... my brain didn't know how to process what I was watching. It blew my mind.
He was always going to be a star.
He was that wasn't it. Wait until you see the film clip. But it was, you know what? It was better than I thought it would have been, considering David Brent. You know, like he's oh god.
Yeah.
But I'd watch anything that guy puts out. Like, he's just fun.
Yeah.
You know,
You guys are fans of Spielberg?
of course.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He's a director.
He
Mostly.
makes
But
movies.
he's produced some movies and he's done other things.
He just
in
throws
Hollywood.
money at movies these days, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Does very little.
Yeah,
Just
have
gets
$1
that
billion.
executive producer role.
Yeah.
Have $1 billion. Do the work for me. He's outsourcing. He's smart like
And then
that.
the trailer will be like, Steven Spielberg presents.
Yeah.
Oh, so true. New movie he's bringing out. I don't know if he's directing it, though. Now that you say that, I don't know. I just saw the name flash on there.
Yeah.
The BFG, which is Roald
Oh,
Dahl's
true.
Yeah. I think he's directing.
Just so
them.
cool, man. Those
So,
children's books.
Live
brought to
action,
life.
I guess.
Yeah, live action.
Because
Yeah.
they made it, this like an animation film back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember it as
right.
my
Right.
childhood. What does he
Right.
eat? Cucumbers or something, the BFG?
I
Loves
can't
it.
remember. That was a very long time ago. There's a trailer for BFG out already.
I mean, that-
apparently. And it is directed by him, yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Spielberg's back.
He's also directing a book that I read recently that I'm so excited about, like nerdgasm stuff.
Yeah.
Ready Player One, which is something that
Yeah.
Anyone that grew up in the 80s or is a fan of geekdom and nerd stuff just has to read that. And if he does it any justice, it will be
awesome.
Who's starring in it? Isn't it got some good names?
Yeah, it does.
I want to say Seth Rogen, but maybe I'm wrong.
I can see who he would play.
Seth Rogen, if you're listening to this, just let us know if you're in that movie, please.
Just hit us up on
tweet us at haircutbeard. So what was the there was one other news item, but I didn't write it down because
this is my one. I've got some news here. So they're casting for the new Star Wars. They're going to go big Star Wars film, and then they're going to do like a spin-off, then big Star Wars film, spin-off, like a back and forth like that. So through the trilogy, there's going to be 6 films planned, different directors, single stories, that kind of thing for the in-between
and
ones.
some of them will be kind of prequels, right? To the
Yeah. And the one that we're talking about today it's going to be the Han Solo prequel. Young Han Solo.
Interesting.
Ooh. The list of people, apparently something like 2,500 people they did an open casting call to see, who would play young Han.
Yeah.
This is the list of some of the people. I don't know all of the people on this list, but it's a pretty interesting list. So Dave Franco.
Oh, yes.
Really?
I don't like him.
He's fucking great. I like him, but I don't think he could play Han Solo.
Yeah. I think I don't like him because he succeeds in what he does, which is acting like a douche in every film he's ever been in. So I think that's why I don't like him, because he's good at what he does.
He ruined Scrubs for me. Because he was in that shitty spin-off that they made.
Right.
That was my first exposure to him.
Yeah, and I was just like, I hate his face so much from that. But he's done some alright. He was in like Bad Neighbors and stuff, right? It was okay.
He's definitely had some moments.
Plays a good douche.
Yeah, definitely. Very good at the douche. Also, we've got the guy from Kick-Ass and Godzilla, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Miles Teller from Whiplash, and I think I can kind of see him doing that, but he's just not handsome.
What about
enough
Frankie Muniz? Is he in there?
No, he's not in the list.
The fuck, man? Where did that guy go?
Racing cars these days.
What? No, really?
Yeah, he races cars.
What?
Yeah, Frankie Muniz.
Fuck off.
He has been since he was like on Malcolm in the Middle. He's got big car collection. Now he's like a proper car racer
I knew he
man.
collected cars. I didn't know he was a car racer.
Yeah. It's like pretty much what he does.
Wow,
Dude, that is
pretty
cool.
sure.
Okay.
I respect him more than I think I ever did. That's kind of awesome.
He did a Reddit AMA not that long ago, like in the last couple months, and spoke about a lot of cool stuff worth checking out if you can find it online.
Yeah, I'll find that. I love reading those AMAs.
Another good one here is Coral from The Walking Dead.
Coral.
Just a little quick side note. The other day, me and the haircut were watching Walking Dead, and we were talking about who should die. Like which character should die to really have some impact.
Getting right to the the mid-season break, they got to have a big kind of reveal.
And the haircut goes to me, I think Coral should die. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck's Coral? Is it one of the girls that I can't, like... I'm like, I don't know everyone's name on that show. I'm like, I didn't think about it. And then later I'm like, oh, Coral. And it all clicks into place.
See, I stopped watching Walking Dead when he didn't die. Season 2, he gets shot. And I was like, oh, respect. They're killing the kid. And it's like, he's going to live. I was like, fucking done.
Yeah.
No respect. Kill the kid.
Fuck.
They kind of did something that annoyed me similarly to that this season that bothered me quite a bit. But
It's Miss Dollar's vital organs.
it's just like, how many times can someone be in peril to the point where it's unlikely for them to get out? And it's like, no, but magically this happens.
And also like that's the whole last 3 episodes of Walking Dead before the season 5 break. They're like, or season 6 break.
Yeah.
Rick's walking around going, "Everybody keep quiet!" He's just screaming it over the fence. He's banging the fence and he's hammering nails and shit into it. Guys, keep it down. And then like in the middle of the village, they're indoors. They're in like a tight-knit room with lots of insulation. And they're like, guys, we need to whisper.
Yeah, so dumb. And they use the whole thing where they cover themselves in the fucking zombie blood.
Yeah.
As a bit of a way out a couple of times. And I'm
As if they wouldn't use that more.
Yes, if it works, do it all the time. Oh, god damn it.
I'd live with that shit on me.
Damn right. You just have a little bag full of zombie guts.
Dude, you would.
Just ready to go at any given time.
Just a little top up. Can you do my back?
They'd be reusing like water bottles and putting the gunk in it so they can like pour over themselves.
See, we would survive. We would be alright.
Yeah, man.
The very last person on this list that I want to throw out.
Oh, Star Wars. Yeah, we went on the tangent.
Is Mr. Robot, show that I've not shut the fuck up about for like 6 months.
So happy you brought that up because I wanted to bring up some news about Mr. Robot.
Oh, really?
You finish.
Okay. Rami Malek, the
guy?
lead. is going up for it as well. I can actually kind of see him, but his face is a bit weird.
He's a bit creepy.
He's
For
weird.
Han Solo.
bit creepy.
Han Solo should be a bit of a looker.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Robot, I think it just came out yesterday that the dude, Sam, the creator, is going to be directing every episode of season 2 as well, which is awesome.
Oh, that's great.
And they speak about because he wants to stay as like a true auteur, writer, director, all
He's
that.
definitely got a vision.
And,
he has a very clear idea of what he wants that show to be about, and he has not deviated from it for a second.
And I think the first season did so well, the studio just just let him do what he wants.
Yeah,
you
give
know?
this man a fucking a camera, give him a bunch of money. I'm
Yeah.
really excited for the second season. They fucking knocked it out of the park in that first season.
They built it up so much as well.
Yeah.
What's going to come?
Definitely a huge nod to Fight Club, just in so many ways. But I just loved it. Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much all I got. I've got no video game news.
Good news.
Cool, man.
I'll only probably do the video game news from now on if there's something really, really interesting.
Fair
Heaps of
enough.
good games out though.
Oh my god!
I've just been
Seriously.
playing Rocket League non
Oh man, I haven't
Yeah.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket
Are you
League
still,
is-
are you on PS4?
Nah, PC.
Ooh.
Any fans out there on PS4, add me. My my username, my PSN ID is Text Weapon.
Text weapon! As he yells whenever
weapon.
he scores a goal. It's so good. And my name is Narcis, Narc1S. Add me on anything. I'm the same name on everything. That's it.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Stanford Prison Experiment.
Watched it this morning.
Oh,
Fresh.
So you're fresh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it for a couple of weeks, but
it was. I mean, I watched it probably in the middle of you two. Loved it. It's great. It's low budget, isn't it?
Yeah.
It mustn't have cost much.
they literally had a hallway.
Yeah.
A couple of little rooms that looked like they were just put up, in a gym somewhere or something.
Literally,
An
probably
office.
at Stanford.
Yeah.
Just a room or two.
So, firstly, I mean, I guess we'll talk about the story. It's basically a legitimate prison experiment they did in the 70s. The thesis was basically give people a small amount of power and see what happens, see if they abuse it. They took a bunch of students. There was about, 20 of them all
Yep.
up. And they said, all right, flip a coin. Basically, this group of people are going to be prisoners. This group of people are going to be the guards. And see what happens.
But they told the guards, so they put all the guards in a room and they said, even though it was based on a coin flip, who was determined to be a prisoner or guard, they told all the guards that they have been selected because of their unique qualities.
Yeah.
And so that, and the fact that they're all in uniform, and the fact that they all have this limited amount of power, kind of put them together into this group, this tight-knit group, and they started to, obviously, their power starts to get out of control as the story progresses.
I love that it starts off, one of the earliest scenes, and this is based on a true story. They actually took, a lot of it was recorded on video, and once you've seen the film, you can go and watch an interview, similar interviews that they show throughout the film, and those interviews are word for fucking word. They are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it really sort of hit home. Holy shit, they took this really seriously.
I got that feel when I was watching it because at the end of the film they show you the after interviews where they're interviewing these students that took part.
And they're probably very close, if not exactly as the interviews were.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was watching and the acting and the way that they were stuttering with a lot of their words. I was like,
Yeah.
they must be copying some real footage,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
And it was
100%.
very emotional. It was very,
It
very
was.
good. Yeah.
And I think they were very clever in the prisoners were wearing these little skirt things. They
Yeah.
were all wearing hats. So you couldn't, it was very hard to distinguish who was who.
It was loss of identity.
Yeah,
Strip them of
entire
their
loss of identity. And the guards were obviously given these uniforms that looked really, very police-like and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You can see how people would obviously get really wrapped up into it. But the sort of main point of the film is the direction that it goes and how bad it actually gets is just something you never think would... you never think it would go that far.
The whole time I'm thinking, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't fall for that.
yeah.
But these were normal people, and
That's it.
they fell for it. After 2-3 days, they're totally enveloped into this world.
Yeah.
And they believe that they cannot get out.
Yeah. And that was the most terrifying bit. So there's a point, for those that haven't seen it, there's a point in the film where one of the prisoners, they're told at any point, look, you can get out at any point. They're all paid a certain amount of money, but it's a fair bit for the time.
Yeah.
They're all told that basically you can leave at any time, but you forego your money after that point. So, if it's $100 for 10 days, you leave on day 5, you lose $50. These guys then go to this sort of mock parole hearings, and they ask them, if you could get out right now, would you?
Would you forego your money?
And they say yes, and then go back to their cell. and they are truly convinced that they cannot leave.
Yeah.
They believe that they are somehow locked up. They go to these extreme things where they go and literally arrest them from their house, take them in police cars and all this kind of stuff. They really sell it. But it's kind of terrifying, like what it represents, you know.
I think a big part of the film as well was they talk about like how you lose track of time because these guys are just kept in like mock cells, no windows, no clocks, nothing, and then the guards will come and do what do you call roll calls or whatever. They pull them out of their cells, and they do it like throughout the night during the day, so the prisoners lose all track of time.
Yeah.
And they start to lose their shit pretty quickly. There's
very early on.
Yeah, great point in the film where shit's really kicking off. One of the guys is like screaming, like, let me out, let me out.
That was so powerful.
Yeah. And then the caption just comes up on screen saying day 3. And it's like, oh my
Holy
God.
shit, it's
only
day
been
3.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. And they're all talking like, he said he was going to come back and help us, and it's been like a week, he hasn't come back. And the other guy's like, bro, it's only been like a day, but
and
no
they
one
don't
has
know.
any idea. And
they don't know,
and they're not really getting any sleep.
One thing the film did really well is because the students lost track of time, so did you as a viewer. Like you're saying, you didn't know how many days it's been until it flashed up on the screen. They were very good at you lose track of time along with the people in there. You're like, is this been a day? Has it been 5 days? You just don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the performances were phenomenal. A
few faces as well.
Yeah. The main bad guy, I suppose, who is the guy that takes that shit really seriously and really plays up the part. He was just a fucking powerhouse. He was terrifying. He really just jumped headfirst into the whole fucking thing. But he was great. He was really good.
There was another movie with Forrest Whitaker and Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
And they did, I think it's called The Experiment. It's kind of similar, but it's not as true to life, I don't think. I like this movie's based, of course, on the first Stanford Prison Experiment, right?
Yeah,
but it's been repeated in different cultures, different times.
Yeah.
More recently, I think the BBC did one.
They did a reality show,
and they had to halt it as well.
Yeah.
I think the thing with the Stanford one is it was in the early 70s where people didn't really know much about the prison system, and that's sort of what they wanted to reveal to people, the psychological effect that it can do.
And of course, being the first one, I think if you knew about the experiment or watched that movie or understood that the experiment took place and what generally happens, and then you were to take part in it, of course, it would have a lesser effect.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that it kind of makes it a bit pure in that sense. But I love the fact that there was a really, really good scene, and I watched an interview with the actual guy that did the experiment, because he kind of loses his shit as well to some extent. The guy that
he gets involved in it.
He's
really prison.
And it becomes like a really big thing. But there's a bit where they have a little visiting time with their parents, and one of the kids that's really struggling, he has this chat with his parents, and he's like really struggling, and they talk to the guy afterwards that's running the whole thing, the parents. And they're like, are they okay? He seems like really shit. And he just directs directly to the dad. He goes, something along, your son's tough, isn't he? What dad is going to say, no, he's not? He just plays it so perfectly. And dad's like, of course, he's tough. Don't worry about it. And then he just basically shushes his wife, and they just walk out. You know? Played it so perfectly. And apparently he did exactly that. Like, in the interview, he confirms, that was one of the things that I felt worse about, because I just totally manipulated the shit out of that guy.
I love that bit.
Yeah.
That's really good.
What I found really interesting was when they're with their families in the visitation hours, how all the prisoners are talking about how it's fine, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Makes me think, in real prison, they say that too. You know what I mean? The prisoners would say to their family, oh, no, things are fine, I'm doing well.
Yeah. 100%.
When in reality, they're probably going through, torment equal to or greater than that. You ever been to prison?
No.
What?
Spent overnight in maybe a lockup once, maybe.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my God, drunk and disorderly.
Kind of, yeah. I get in there and I'd never been in there before. I was kind of terrified. I sat down and some guy's like, "That's my seat." And I'm like, "All right, I'll sit over here then."
That's my seat. You want to fucking go, cunt?
I think that's how you go in there, just find the biggest guy, just knock him the fuck out. I don't think I could have, so I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in a corner somewhere.
I've heard that when you go in, you don't show strength, you just show insanity. And like, instead of approaching the guy and trying to knock him out, you just bite his face or something. And then people leave you alone.
You know, the theory is always like, you find the biggest guy, you knock him out. Imagine being the biggest guy in prison, but being a nice guy.
Yeah.
Just every new cunt that comes into prison just coming up to you, knocking you to fuck out.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a big guy, but I'm nice. Leave me alone.
I'm a gentle giant.
I'm in here for tax evasion.
White collar crime, baby.
Yeah. So, would you? This film was like quite accurate. I know, haircut Vader, whatever you want to be called. I know that you personally are very big on films based on fact, but if they don't take the subject seriously, it loses a lot of value for you, which it does for me as well. But I think that effect is more for you than it is for me. Did you feel?
Was there another movie that we did that you're basing that on?
We've discussed it before. For instance, NWA, the Australia Compton.
We did. Yeah.
And I know that effect... With this, did you feel they took the subject matter seriously? Did you feel that it was good in that sense?
I think it was very true to life because, it doesn't follow standard story arcs. It obviously escalates and continues to grow and grow.
Yeah.
But it's not like, following the standard Save the Cat story arc that you see in the majority of movies. Yeah. Which kind of makes it feel more like a documentary in a sense, a reenacting of an actual event. So,
a reenactment's probably the best way to sort of describe this, I think.
Yeah, very, very entertaining still. Like, it's still, followed, obviously, the aspects of movies that you need to be entertained. Yeah. Things escalate gradually, but and resolve. But it didn't forego reality for that, which is something that happened with the NWA movie.
I agree. Yeah,
that's a good point. I was throughout that whole film expecting some big finale. Like, I thought some woman's gonna go in there and the prisoners are gonna rape her or something, or the guy that gets let out is gonna come back and free them all. Yeah, and then sort of after all, I was like, oh, there was no real big crescendo. And then I looked into the real story behind it, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, they've kept it real true. And I looked at the images of the prisoners and the people back in the day, or the real setup, and it was very, very accurate.
Without a doubt. The scene where they show them is I want you to do the whole Frankenstein thing, and I want you to kiss him like a Frankenstein monster, and get right in there. That you can actually see the real footage of that, and it's everyone is standing in the exact same spot. The timing is the same. If you put them side by side, it would be very, very close.
I thought very early on, because it's the second or third scene is him at home with his missus, and she's a bit of a face. She's in Juno. She plays Juno's best mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which took me a good 10-20 minutes to get.
I never would have guessed that.
Where do I know this face? And then 20-30 minutes passed, and I was watching it with my girlfriend, and I was like, what was the point in that scene earlier? Surely she's going to have some sort of role in this. And then she did, but it wasn't very big, really. It kind of just... So, yeah, they could have maybe taken some sort of liberties to that. Yeah.
Apparently she was, according to the guy that did the experiment, she was important to making him realise that, no, I've gone too far. And sort of got to pull it back. So maybe
he was in deep.
He was in very deep.
Very deep.
I mean, he was literally... People were coming to him and saying, I want to get out. And he was basically saying no.
He even wants to get rid of the priest, doesn't he? Because they get a priest in to talk to him. He's like, the priest is going to turn against us. He's going to get a lawyer or something. Yeah. He's like, I want him gone. It's like, bro, you're in deep. Yeah. Reminds me of a film called Compliance. Did you guys see that?
Yes, I mentioned that after watching it as well.
Very similar, like we were telling. It's just a telling of a true story. The layout, the
way it's done is very similar as well.
Yeah, it's sort of a bit of an indie
that's
film.
A great film.
It is. Yeah,
terrifying. I think it's something you would actually enjoy. Compliance is basically about a guy that he calls up like a burger chain and pretends
McDonald's.
He's a policeman.
Yeah. In real life, it was a McDonald's. I think in the film they called it something else, but it was a McDonald's. Yeah,
and basically says, "Look, there's a girl that's on your counter. She's stolen something from one of your customers. I can't get down there in time. I want you to detain her." And over about 6 hours, he escalates. I want you to strip search her. I want you to take her clothes, put them in your car. She needs to be naked. He eventually convinces people to spank her while naked, and just manipulates the shit out of these people. It is.
And true story, of course, as well. He repeated this over multiple occasions.
Yeah. Oh, so you've seen it?
No, I haven't actually seen the movie, but I've read about it. Yeah. There's a documentary that accompanies it, and you can check out the real story as well.
Interesting.
It's that was amazing. That was really, really good.
Yeah.
All right. So overall, Rob, how many prisoners out of 10?
I had to think really hard about this because it was entertaining. It was true to life, I believe, and it was powerful. I'd give it like a solid 7 prisoners out of 10.
7 prisoners out of 10, not bad. Yep.
Yeah, I think I would go the same. I'm trying to think of where it could make up those extra 3 points. For the genre that it is, as like a psychological thriller, it really did install that, like, not fear, but you were worried. I was engrossed the whole time because I was like, where is this going to go? What's going to happen to these people?
Yeah.
I guess it just gets a 7 because it's just like a low budget sort of indie film, which it works for the type of film it is.
It definitely knocks it out of the park for what it is, but what it is isn't necessarily as enjoyable as some other stuff, I guess.
It's not going to go on your top 10 film list. You're not going to be like, oh my god, it's one of the best films ever made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how many?
7.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I'd probably give it around about the same. I reckon 7's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
There's a big kind of circle jerk around the number 7 right now. But it's 7 on IMDb. You guys rated it pretty much 7.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that. I think the fact that it was done on relatively low budget. I couldn't find the exact figure, but I imagine it was done on pretty low budget.
You'd think most of that budget would go to the cast. Like, what else would it go on?
Yeah.
You know? Had a decent cast.
Some well-known faces in there. Yeah. As you said, the girl and 2 of the main guys were pretty well-known.
Yeah.
But a lot of the rest of them unknowns.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Ezra Miller. He plays Kevin in We Need to Talk About Kevin, which I know you've seen, and I'm reading the book at the moment. It's instantly my top 5 favorite books of all time. Like, it's just fucking amazing. But I'm waiting for him because he's done 2 amazing performances, and I'm waiting for him to break out. I'm worried that he's going to be that guy that's going to be amazing in all of the little films that he's in and never just really break through that ceiling. You know?
Yeah. The fact that you already know his name means he's already broken out.
Yeah, true. He's a really good actor, though. You need to watch We Need to Talk About Kevin. That's a fucking great film.
What else have I been watching recently? I gave up on True Detective.
Oh, same.
Never made it through.
True Motorways is all I call it. There's so many shots of motorways in that show.
Really? I didn't get past episode 2.
I did maybe 4 or 5. There was one really fucking cool bit, the like gun battle scene on the
which
street.
happened to be at the end of episode 4, which was the cool gun battle from the first season.
Yeah, right. That's what I said to the guy I was watching it with, my housemate. Was like, I swear this is like they're just trying to match what they did in the first season in like a new way.
It was a very cool scene.
It was just the aftermath after everyone's dead and they're all just sat there in the street like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Like, that was
they were
really
expecting
powerful.
it just to be a bit of a,
what happened?
small raid. And
What
They
happened?
got to do like a small raid, but yeah, these guys just come out the windows with automatic weapons, and then those guys take to the streets, and just civilians are just dying left, right, and center. They're in a busy like motorway, like cross section, and like they shoot a bus up of people, and it's just carnage. It's like a 10-minute scene. It's like Heat, but remember that scene from Heat where they're just shooting in the streets? It's like that, but people are just fucking dying everywhere. Civilians just getting copped. It's pretty brutal.
So I mean, story wise, you mentioned you gave up after.
I can't even tell you what happened. Yeah, I
don't know either. Vince
No.
Vaughn, like it's a shame because it's like Vince Vaughn seemed alright. He seems like he's doing a good job, but the story's so convoluted that I don't understand one aspect of it. There's no recapping. There's no like well written arcs that explain in simple terms.
And I think they're relying on the cliffhanger. I feel like every episode ends on a cliffhanger because they're like, we've got to entice people to watch the next one.
Yeah.
Like in the second episode where he takes the shotgun to the chest.
yeah,
Like,
I thought he was dead then. And I was frustrated that he wasn't.
Yeah, because in my head I was like, the only way they could say he's still alive is if they were using like safety pellets. But even at fucking point blank range,
You're gonna
with a
be
shotgun of
fucked
safety
up.
pellets, it's gonna do. And he's just like up and walking like the next episode. Like,
Yeah, I think halfway through 3, because I remember that bit. Halfway through 3, I gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've seen the whole thing or not. What does that tell you? I honestly don't know if I've seen the whole thing.
But even the first season confused the hell out of me. I thought it was very hard to follow, but I was willing to give it a go because the acting was just
phenomenal.
and like the style was.
That probably one of my favorite scenes ever. I get a real hard on for long continuous shots.
Oh, yeah.
And that one in the end of episode 4, season 1, is still one of the greatest
it's pretty
TV
sick.
long shots. There's probably a name for it, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But yeah, that was just fucking awesome. Really cool. And
Fargo is just kicking up a storm right now.
I'm only in
So
3
good.
episodes deep, so
yeah,
but yeah, fucking so good,
such a great show.
so good.
Fucking
I
outrageous.
think
I'm 8. I'm done, but like it's amazing.
8? Is there only 8?
I
I
think the
think it
9's
keeps
out.
going.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Maybe I have seen 9.
because I've downloaded them all, and I think I got up to 8, and I was like, I was probably going to be 10.
Yeah, I think it's 10, maybe 12, but I'm a little bit before where you are, Vader, and it's just fucking like it started off the first couple of episodes. I'm like, okay, it seems like they're kind of recreating the first season just with different people, but then it just went in a totally different direction, and it's amazing, but for totally different reasons. Like,
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, you guys have obviously worked out that it's kind of a prequel to the. To the
I
other
knew
Fargo.
that before I started it. That was the whole. It's like her dad, right? That's
Yeah, exactly. So Ted Danson's the guy in season 1 that owns the Waffle Hut.
yeah, so I didn't realize that,
I didn't realize.
but I'd got a shocking memory, so I couldn't
So
really
Ted
remember
Danson,
who that was.
so the guy that runs the Waffle Hut in season 1 of Fargo, he talks about getting out of the Force.
Yeah, that's the cop's dad, the girl cop's dad. in
Yeah,
the Waffle
exactly.
Hut.
So the girl cop's dad. So I think that's Ted Danson.
No, it's not. It's the other one, Ted Danson's partner.
No, Ted Danson's partner, right?
It's not played by Ted Danson,
He's
but
the
I think
one.
it's meant to be.
He's the one that gets shot episode 1 of season 1
Right.
because they talk about his wife dying of cancer, and
Yeah.
his wife in, of course,
Got
season
cancer.
2 has the cancer.
Right, yeah, because that's what I thought originally. I was like, oh, he's the cop that dies in the second season. But my housemate was like, no, he's the girl's father. Anyway.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
No,
So
I know vaguely.
So you're saying Ted Danson is the...
Ted Danson's the guy that owns the Waffle Hut in season 1. He's the dad of the girl cop.
Yeah.
So the girl cop, right? She's the sister of the lady that dies with cancer.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess. I mean, I can't confirm this because I haven't looked it up, but that just makes sense with the story.
Okay.
I don't think it's something they're like trying to hide, are they? It's
Yeah,
like
they're not
pretty
trying to hide it.
open.
We could look it up and,
Yeah.
and discuss it in a bit more.
Let's-
Just quickly while we're on Fargo, you're a few episodes ahead, but what was going on that very first scene? The first scene of the season was them on a film shoot.
Yeah.
Has that got any relevance yet in what you're up to? Because I don't understand
film
who
shoot.
Yeah, the very opening scene is like a famous, isn't it? The actor who turned into a president. What was his name?
Reagan.
Reagan, isn't he?
Oh, Reagan is he's running for office in the thing, so maybe that is what it is.
Yeah, because him on a film set, and they're like, "Oh, we're not ready to film," and he's all cold, and a guy stands next to him and like gives him a cigarette or whatever.
Yeah, and they just sort of have a
they just
brief chat
talk.
and-
Very, very strange.
Yeah, it was really weird, but I'm sure, I thought it would be one of those things, like it'll be like at the very end, oh, that's right, I totally forgot about that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Have more relevance.
There's
But
constant references to it. I know there's one scene. Obviously, I'm aware. I'm not going to spoil anything here.
Yeah.
But where Kirsten Dunst is watching her character's watching a movie,
yeah.
which is Reagan, and there's little placements of that all throughout.
okay.
So all throughout, the characters are like watching and seeing Reagan playing characters, in these movies. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Makes
that
sense.
just could be, a thematic tie. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's going to drive the plot at all.
It's interesting nonetheless, but it's a fucking great show. They're just, I really hope they just keep doing what they're doing, because it's...
I was worried it was going to do a True Detective, but
So was I.
Yeah, same. I was like 4 episodes. Right when they started having a big gun battle. Maybe if you haven't seen that yet, it's coming up.
Yeah.
But there's a big gun battle, and I was just hooked.
Yeah,
Instantly,
yeah.
I was after that.
The two people that have really got me, I'm like, yep, you guys are fucking awesome, is the black dude
yes,
that's
he's
just
amazing.
making
Yeah,
random
man.
fucking quotes and doing little, like...
The way he talks,
He's
so
just-
friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
He's Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, kind of. He's doing his, like, biblical quotes and
Yeah.
weird shit like that, but he's, like, just such a powerful character, and I like the Indian. The Indian guy's really, really cool. But what's the deal with them having, like, fucking weird psycho killer twins? Because they had twins in the first season,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah, it's an ongoing like theme.
Yeah.
well, they weren't twins in the first season. You just mean the two hitmen.
Oh, that's right. They weren't
but
twins.
he was like a deaf mute or whatever.
Yeah.
The other guy.
Is there a link there that I'm missing? Or?
Well, in the original Fargo, there's the two
there
hitmen.
is too.
and
Maybe
he-
it's just a homage.
yeah, just like the text at the beginning, based on true.
Yeah.
that's just a homage, not based on anything.
Yeah, and that you know what? I believed that for like 10 years that the original Fargo movie was a true story.
Yeah.
Truly believed it.
I believed it watching the first season, and then like 4 or 5 episodes, I was like, "This is way too mental to be true." And like Googled it, like, no, it's just a thing
Yeah.
to get you sucked in.
I do like it though, because like we are, I think,
still
the
believe that.
minority in the fact that we.
You've crushed my dreams.
Sorry, mate.
I thought that was literally. I thought it was still true.
Nah, not one
I was
bit
like,
of
how
it
does
is
that
true.
happen? I swear.
Really?
Yep.
Oh man, I wish we didn't tell him now. Like that, we basically just told a kid that fucking Santa's not real. Like,
Basically. Merry Christmas.
So thanks for tuning in on this episode of Haircut and the Beard. This is episode 17, Stanford Prison Experiment.
Is it? Yeah.
Movie. Yep. And I'd like to thank my co-host, of course. Actually, first, let's thank our special guest.
Yeah.
The Girl 2.0, a.k.a. Toomey. Thanks so much for coming down, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's good to have you.
Truly a pleasure. I love it.
Yeah,
I
come
want to
back,
do a
come back
4-way
soon.
cast.
Let's do a 4-way cast, maybe.
Girl 1 and 2 in one. Hold on,
Holy
that got
shit, they
confusing.
might clash, dude.
Yeah, they might.
Might be a cat. We'll have to separate the mics.
Oh, who knows? Tune in a month to find out.
Ooh. You can hit us up Twitter, Haircut Beard, or send us an email, haircutandthebeard@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, of course. And because we're going to be having like a month between episodes, make sure you subscribe on iTunes or at least jump on our Facebook page and like us so you can be told when the new one is up. But if you're pretty good with calendars, it's going to be right around the 15th of every month if you want to just tune in then. Yeah. My name is Vader, aka Haircut. Thanks again for the beard for joining us.
My pleasure.
Well.
It was fun.
Goodbye.